Salna, a renowned scientist of the Xanthi species, stood at the center of the laboratory, staring in disbelief at the human specimen on the other side of the glass. Beside him, a group of the galaxy's brightest scientists watched with growing unease. They had heard rumors about the strange capabilities of Earth's inhabitants, the Deathworlders, but what they were witnessing now far exceeded their expectations. The experiment had been simple. A group of species had been gathered from around the galaxy to test their tolerance to various substances. Nothing too deadly, of course, just samples that would be toxic to most species. But when it came to the human, identified simply as Subject 52, the results were troubling. As the human sat calmly in the isolation chamber, a large glass container was placed in front of him. Inside it, a bright green liquid swirled, a substance known as Varnock X. To the Xanthi, this was a highly potent neurotoxin, a poison so deadly that even a drop could incapacitate their strongest warriors. The scientists had expected the human to refuse or exhibit extreme caution. Instead, the human raised the glass to his lips, smiled, and downed the liquid in one gulp. The room fell silent. A murmur of shock rippled through the crowd. This cannot be possible," Salna whispered, his tentacles twitching nervously. He turned to the others. "Varnock X is one of the most dangerous substances known to us. How is this human still alive?" The human wiped his mouth and sat back, grinning as though he had just finished a refreshing drink. The sensors attached to his body blinked, displaying no signs of distress, no elevated heart rate, no drop in oxygen levels. He was, by all accounts, perfectly fine. One of the younger scientists, Krell, approached the monitoring screen with wide eyes. "Perhaps the human is not aware of the danger," Krell suggested, his voice shaky. Surely, if he knew the nature of the liquid, he would. The human's voice suddenly crackled through the comm system, cutting him off. "So, when's round 2? I'm kinda thirsty." Salna's eyes widened in horror. He wants more. Panic started to spread among the scientists. They had studied Earth from a distance, but no reports had prepared them for this. The human's resilience to poison defied all galactic biology. "Run more tests," Salna demanded, his voice filled with urgency. "We need to know how this creature can survive Varnock X." Without hesitation, the team began scanning every inch of the human's body, analyzing his cells, organs, and nervous system. What they found only deepened the mystery. The human's biology was in constant flux, adaptable in ways no other known species could match. His liver was processing the poison at an accelerated rate, breaking it down into harmless components before it could cause any damage. "It's as if his body evolves on the spot," Krell muttered in disbelief. "His cells are repairing themselves faster than the poison can harm him." Salma's tendrils coiled in anxiety. This could mean that humans are far more dangerous than we ever anticipated. If their biology allows them to adapt to toxins, what other deadly environments could they survive? As the scientists frantically discussed the implications, the human stood up and waved at the observing team. "Hey, you guys got any more challenges? This one was pretty fun." The room was now filled with a mix of awe and dread. If humans could survive poisons that could wipe out entire alien species, what else were they capable of enduring? The galaxy had long viewed Earth as a death world, but now the true nature of its inhabitants was becoming clear. Humans were not just survivors. They were conquerors of environments that would destroy lesser beings. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red lights flashed as the automated systems detected a breach in the containment protocols. The scientists scrambled to identify the source, but it wasn't a physical intruder. It was the human. "Systems failing," Krell shouted, his voice tinged with fear. "The human cellular regeneration is disrupting the lab's safety measures." Salna stared at the screen in disbelief. The human's mere presence was destabilizing the finely tuned equipment. His adaptive biology was so potent that even their advanced technology couldn't fully contain it. "Shut it down," Salna ordered. "We can't risk him staying in the chamber any longer." But before they could initiate the shutdown, the human spoke again, this time with a mischievous grin. "Don't worry, Doc, we're just built different." With that, the human stretched his arms and yawned, showing no signs of discomfort after consuming what should have been a lethal dose of poison. He tapped on the glass, separating him from the scientists. "I guess that means I passed your little test, huh?" Salna felt a cold wave of fear wash over him. What had they unleashed by studying these humans? If one of them could handle Varnock X so casually, what would happen if they weaponized this resilience? Worse, how many other poisons could they shrug off? Send a report to the Galactic Council immediately. Salna said, his voice low. The humans are more dangerous than we ever realized. We must proceed with extreme caution. As the human was escorted out of the chamber, still chuckling at the flabbergasted expressions of the aliens, Salma knew one thing for certain.